A guy who
Oh man.
wasn't from around the Kansas City parts, but now is. He's definitely a resident of Kansas City, but has been traveling around the last week or so. Rashee Rice has been confirmed that he is 100% done for the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's out for a minimum of 4 months. No ACL tear, no MCL tear. It was an LCL tear. That's your lateral ligament there. Um, it's torn, fully torn. A lot of people don't know what LCL means, Sean. It's a lateral. It's a lateral ligament.
I was just seeing if you knew what the C was.
It's collateral. Is it
Lateral
collateral?
Lateral collateral. Yeah.
Lateral. It's not collateral. What am I thinking of?
It
Oh
is
man.
collateral.
Material.
Is it
It's
really
crucial.
collateral?
No.
Collateral ligament.
It's is it crucial? Something
No,
like
it's
that.
the
I'm not.
collateral.
Shut up, Sean.
No, I'm being serious. You're 100% right.
You got me
I
second
feel like
guessing
he's
myself
fucking with
now.
you. No, I don't believe Sean right now.
No, it
Lateral
is lateral
collateral
collateral
ligament.
ligament. I was right.
Wow.
Ah,
Wow.
I was right. Let's go.
So,
What a
Your
name.
athletic
boy
trainer Ty Bob
graduated.
here.
Hey, I have an exercise science degree. Come on now.
And you had to question it?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it's been almost a decade since I graduated from college.
Fair enough. What?
Almost a decade.
Almost as only with horseshoes and hand grenades, man.
Yeah.
It's been 7 years.
That's not a decade.
That's the low side away
Almost.
from almost too. That's
Yeah.
like
The low side.
it's like saying
That's on
I'm
the higher
almost
side.
30.
I am almost 30.
Yeah, but you're what,
Yeah.
29?
When I'm 29.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
difference
that's
there.
almost 30. I'm 26. I'm not almost 30.
Seven is close to 10. Come on now.
It's in the
Okay,
same ballpark, but
has
we're not
anybody ever
rounding up here.
rounded up your score and on a paper from a 70 to a 90 or an 80 or a 100?
Well, if it's a .7, it would be a one.
What's behind it?
Doesn't matter.
See, I think
If you're just going
need
by
more
tenths,
context there.
you'd put it
That's
into a
fair.
one.
That's fair.
Either way,
Either way,
context.
Rashee Rice is fucked.
Yeah, Rashee's done for this year. They said minimum 4 months, so that also puts him out of contest for coming back for the playoffs. Like they believe Isaiah Pacheco could be back for the playoffs.
And
Same for
Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown.
Wow.
Jinx. So really hitting it hard on the skill position players. Leaving it up to Juju, who had a fantastic night. We'll get into that here a little bit later. But yeah, Rashee Rice done, which could mean potentially done until 2026. A lot of people are saying I don't think the NFL suspends him for more than 8 games, understanding that it's a first offense. There's currently no criminal indictments that have come forward. I think there's still potentially a criminal investigation ongoing, but right now it's a civil case. But even so, if there's no jail time, I would expect no more than 8 games. So expect him probably mid-season 2025-2026 of the 2025-2026 season.
Was Kareem Hunt ever found guilty for what he did? Did he have to go to court or anything like that?
No,
Was he?
it was not a criminal nor a
Oh,
civil
oh,
issue. The issue that happened and why he was released from the team. Number one, he was released from the team for lying. He had multiple altercations. He had lied on multiple times. When the Chiefs found out the truth, they said, "Hey, you tell the truth, it gets you a long way around here." He lied about the situation, and they told him, "Hey, if you had said the truth, we would have kept you on the team, but this was your third strike lying to the front office, and now you're out."
we don't care that you beat women. We're just mad that you lied to us.
Now, to give context to the situation, not agreeing nor disagreeing with what happened, just giving context to the situation. He was at his apartment or a hotel room.
Yeah,
It was
no,
his
yeah,
domain.
yeah.
It was an underage woman who was intoxicated and did try to physically force her way into the apartment
Yeah.
after spitting on him, using slurs, derogatory slurs towards Kareem Hunt and the crew that was there, and then did try to physically force her way into the room. Again, context not falling on either side of that situation. But yeah, he was removed from the team for lying,
Yes.
not for what he did. And now he's back on the team. We'll talk about that again a little bit
Yes.
later.
Everyone, you can cleanse yourself of your sins and join a back-to-back Super Bowl champion team. He never won. He wasn't on the team. He was on right before you guys won it, right?
Correct. 2018.
Dang.
Well, that happened in 2019, and he was removed from the team during the middle of the season.
Oh, okay.
Did he still
Yeah.
get a ring for that season?
No,
Nah, probably
nope,
not.
nope.
No.
Definitely did not get a ring for that. What are we thinking of as far as Rashee Rice? So obviously Rashee's out. We'll talk about the performances and whatnot later on, but from the Saints game. But overall, where do we fall in line? Do we still think a move needs to be made to go out and get a guy? Because again, Rashee's out for the season. Pacheco's out for at least until the postseason. Kareem Hunt obviously performing well. Rashee had, or not Rashee, Juju had his game. Travis had a resurgent game. Do we still need to go out and get a guy who could be a number one, maybe a number two, to go on through the rest of the season and probably into the postseason?
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't hurt to go out and go get a guy. Depending on the price for what that guy is. Honestly, I've seen Amari Cooper's name floated around a lot more recently, but it would
What's
help
up?
out for going on in the future as well, because this could be a situation like Willie Gay a few years back, whenever Rashid may be ready to play at the beginning of this next season, but he gets suspended after week 5 or something like that, and out for most of the majority of the season. So getting somebody in now would be the best thing to do, especially during the bye week. Get them in, get them acclimated to the system, and possibly go out there and play at least a few plays. Because if it's not somebody that we've had before, it's going to be tough for them to get used to Andy Reid's offense out there. So if it's somebody we know, maybe Demarcus Robinson. I don't want him back here, but
MVS
uh,
not doing
Demarcus
a whole lot of
Robinson.
playing time. Yeah, I'd rather take Demarcus Robinson.
Didn't you
I'm
cut
not gonna.
Kadarius Toney?
Yeah, we cut him and he's on a practice squad and he can stay on a practice squad.
No, I think if you own not own, if you are a fantasy football uh
Ooh,
coach, yeah, that was almost bad. If you are a fantasy football coach and Rashee Rice is on your team, drop that motherfucker. That's what I'm gonna do. For
unless you're
sure.
dynasty, then stash him.
Yep.
Yeah. This is for if you're not a dynasty. So I definitely did that. But I think the key, and Sean, I think you kind of touched on it a little bit too. I think you definitely need to find someone who is gonna have some longevity, because Hollywood Brown might not necessarily play next year either, or he's at least gonna miss some time. Maybe not 8, but first month of the season he might miss. So I don't think it would behoove you guys to necessarily get some old head who's got 15 good games left in him, and is possibly just trying to win a ring and retire with a ring on a win. I totally understand that, but I think you got to find someone who's still got some legs on him, got some life on him, and can play for you guys early next year as well.
You're not a Chiefs fan, but this is a Chiefs podcast, so I'm finding you because Hollywood Brown is only on a 1 year deal.
But I mean, you're still talking. Oh, okay. Well,
He's
whatever.
not going to be here
Whatever.
unless we
Hey,
sign him.
he's a
He's
chief
pulling a
until he's not a chief. So you just have to assume he's going to play for
he's
the Chiefs next year.
he's pulling a Michael Irvin or Magic Johnson. Michael, I'm not going to be here when he was the GM of the Lakers.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
sorry,
Okay.
you cut out for a
Not going to be
second.
here.
Yeah. No, you did kind of cut out. I lost you there, literally and figuratively.
um, so fine for that. Not too egregious, but I do want to ask Tommy because there's now more reports. You're obviously a fan of the Raiders. Devontae Adams has stated that he wants to be traded. The team has stated that they want to trade him. He was out 2 weeks ago because of the hammy. Now he was out in week 5. He come back. He
Doing
was
sunflower
healthy enough to
seeds.
play. He was healthy enough to play, but he was held out by the team because they now want to trade him because
Hmm.
he's asked for a trade. And they have requested a package of, at minimum, a second round pick plus maybe some additional things that go along with it, probably a compensatory seventh round pick, I would guess, to go along with that. But there seems to be rumors that there's only 2 teams, the Chiefs being one, and one other high profile team that may want to bring him in for that package that the Raiders are specifically asking for. Do you think that they would take a lower package for another team for him just to not play for the Chiefs, or would they hang on to him and just let him rot on the bench for 2 years until he becomes a free agent? instead of allowing him to go to the Chiefs, who have reportedly stated that they are willing to give the compensation for Devontae Adams.
Oh man, so as like a fan, I really really hope they don't give him to the Chiefs. I don't see that happening. The Raiders, for the most part, I've probably said it on this show. Al Davis's like rule number one was never trade anybody to the division. Like never ever give anybody on our team to the Chiefs, the Chargers, or the Broncos for somebody else. Fuck that. So I like to think with Mark Davis still at the helm, that's not going to happen. What could probably happen, honestly, we're just going to sit on him. We're going to be fucking idiots. We're just going to sit on it. We're going to let him rot. I mean, he could what? Because what else? He could go to the Jets if they
But
give
that's
something
but
good
that's a
enough.
that's a bad move. If I'm Devonte Adams, you no longer want to go to the Jets because all that's there is Aaron. He's probably done, and Bob Saleh's out, so that whole franchise is about to crumble.
Well, the
You
problem
could,
is it's not fucking up to you. So,
I mean, that's it's not up to me. That's fair, but
well, no,
I
it's
don't
not.
think
It's not up
Devonte
to
goes for
you.
that.
No, I mean he's not going to be excited about it, but like if fucking Jacksonville's like, yeah, here's a 2, a 3, and like 500K or like $2 million or what the fuck ever. Like, the Raiders probably do that.
I
Yeah, but
also
Literally
it's
think
anybody
also
could do that, but the Chiefs, and they'd probably
I
do it,
could
or the Chargers or the
I would
Broncos.
also say there may not be a no trade clause, but Devonte can go, oh, you're gonna come and get me. I'll just sit out after you trade for me, anyways. And so these teams most likely aren't going to go for him unless he goes to a place that he wants to.
Then he's just going to sit as a Raider. He's going to be in purgatory,
I also
football
heard that
purgatory.
the Raiders want to get this deal done in the next 48 hours,
Yep.
and they're not budging on that the asking price for him. So you can't have it both ways. If you want to get him gone right now, or you want that price, you got to pick one or the other.
I do.
Don't
I don't see in a sane world the Raiders just giving him to the Chiefs essentially for a second round and a compensatory seventh with maybe
The,
some cash.
the Raiders
Yeah.
would have to eat so much of his contract for us to take him.
they
Like
they're they wouldn't realistically. We've talked about Devonte Adams a lot, but uh realistically, the Chiefs wouldn't have. I mean, they'd have to give him whatever the contract is worth, but it doesn't hit the cap space. And I don't think that they're worried about having to fork over money on the front because
No.
of how much money that we're liquid. We have liquid cash, and
mhm,
so to beat the cap space, just turn that into a signing bonus. Okay, here you go. Very much like the Texans did with Stephon Diggs' deal,
Hmm.
because you guys would already be eating 16 million guaranteed for this year, or 15 for this year and 16 for next year, whatever the numbers are that the Raiders are already guaranteed to get. Now, that's an interesting point, Sean, because as we know, Devonte Adams goes on Kay Adams show every single Monday, I believe, or no, excuse me, every single Tuesday, because that's
Hmm.
the NFL off day. And she had tweeted out during Monday Night Football, Devonte Adams would not be joining her show on Tuesday today because there was something developing, and he would join either later in the week or next week. It is expected. I was expecting to have some news already, but if not now, we could be getting some news by tomorrow. By the time you're hearing this
3 a.m.
Wednesday,
3 a.m. when
about
we're all
Devonte
asleep.
Adams.
Oh
Adam
yeah.
Schefter, Jay Glazer, all just putting it out.
Fucking midnight Pacific time.
He's coming home to Kansas City.
Yeah, I just don't see the Raiders doing that. I just don't.
I think the Jets are for sure out. The Saints now seem
Why are
like a
the
more
Jets out?
likely. I just don't think that happens with Robert Saleh getting fired, there being no head coach, Aaron Rodgers looking like dirt. Would they want to do it to make Aaron Rodgers look a little bit better? Yes, but most likely Aaron Rodgers isn't sticking around for much longer than this year, whether he
Baltimore.
goes to another team or not.
Edgar
Baltimore
Allan
seems
Poe.
like it could be a likely spot, though. I don't know if they want to give up that, and I don't think they have the liquid cash as well. It'd be very hard for the Saints because I don't think they have the liquid cash either
Oh,
to
two
make that
two
happen.
sleepers here. The Steelers and the Commanders.
Yeah.
Two very good teams. The Commanders have been top of note. That'd be very interesting for him, but that would suck for the Chiefs because we'd be missing out on that. Though I'm hoping Amari Cooper can really be that guy if Devonte Adams is not.
Well, and who's to say someone doesn't trade Devon? Can you be traded twice in a season
No,
technically? No,
you
you
can
can't.
be, but not to another team. Mm, not to the same team. Sorry, I was
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
so like
Yeah.
Hassan
So
Reddick can't
yeah,
be traded back to the
back to the
Eagles.
bait or
He would
yeah, the
have to go
Eagles.
to another team,
Yeah.
and then actually, you cannot go back to the team that you were traded from via trade for 2 seasons. That was the NFL rule
Oh,
because
okay.
the Jets were thinking about and the Eagles were thinking about making the trade back for Hassan Reddick.
Can't.
They cannot be traded to the team they were traded from for 2 years.
See now see this could happen. I can kind of see this. The Raiders in a roundabout way not technically trading Devontae Adams to the Chiefs. You possibly three-way split here.
Get
A
something
three-way
else out of
trade.
it. Get some more
Huh?
draft picks somewhere.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like, I mean, you loop in someone who's got a bunch of liquid cash or something like that, or another team that needs something from somebody. I mean, all teams have needs. Everyone's got a price, you know. And I think if the Raiders can honestly make it seem like we got rid of him and then he went to the Chiefs, they'd probably live with that. They'd probably live with that.
I think a three-team trade is probably more likely, not with Devonte Adams going to 2 teams like an NBA trade, but more of the way of Devonte Adams is gone and also Max Crosby's leaving.
What are you talking about?
I I'm no, I'm saying that would be the most likely scenario is if Devonte, if you're doing a 3-team trade, it's because you're not only losing Devonte, Max Crosby would be on the way out of the door as
Yeah,
well. And
Max
you do some
Crosby's
sort
going to
of
retire a Raider.
Yeah,
He's got
he's
that
a
shit
lifer.
tatted on him. He's not going anywhere, bro.
we'll see.
He's a
We'll see.
lifer.
Yeah,
We'll see.
dude.